What words do you keep hearing in your head over and over and over from your youth lately that just make you think about things around you and how they correlate to that saying? Well, I've been thinking about one in particular. Let me tell you all about it. Welcome to Sarah Turns, where I talk about my memoirs and aspirations and all the things that happen in between. Like today, it is October 16th, 2025 at about 12 minutes after 7. TikTok spit spot, if not now, then when? Hi, I'm Sarah. So, my day started at 4:30 when I woke up to pee, and I went back to bed for another hour and a half. Then I got up and started my usual stuff. And then there was a call from work, and it's my morning off, and I verified and double checked all that last night, and then somewhere there was a disconnect, and then somehow there's a crisis that I have to manage that's not my responsibility. And in the process of this developing, it occurs to me that the people and the person on the other end aren't being very nice. And they're very much overreacting, considering how well I manage everything. And so, there's more than one way that I could address it, right? I could be just as, don't get over on your side of the road or anything, idiot. I could be just as mean, and that's what I said. I'm like, why do you have to be so mean? Why are you being so mean? This is unnecessary, right? And it had me thinking about something my mom used to say to me when I was a kid. And she used to say stuff like, don't use the word hate, and don't be mean and angry and hateful, because it's easier to be that way than it is to be nice, And I took it as a child that, make an effort. Like, it's the cop-out to be mean. It's the cop-out to jump to the conclusion and be judgmental. It's the cop-out to so quickly blame someone else, to be mean like that. So, sorry, we're in some trees. I know we're running out of light fast, but once I get to work, because I'm called into work again, I'm not going to have a moment to step out and do this. And then when I get home tonight, I'm not going to want to. And this is important. And we're running out of the day. So here we are. So anyways, it made me think about Mom saying that. And then it made me think about that situation this morning. And it's like, why? Why are you being so mean? What does it serve? And what a cop-out. It is so easy to lose your cool and freak out over something, but it doesn't change the fact that the thing still needs to be resolved. And it doesn't change that all of your huffing and puffing and pissing and pooping along the way is for naught. Because it always resolves itself when I'm concerned. I always resolve and manage the problem. That's one of my skills. That's why I'm being called, right? Right. So, like I said, I could have been equally as poorly behaved with a bad composure and demeanor, and I chose not to because it was just going to aggravate the situation. I was justified by all means, but it was just going to aggravate the situation. And then that made me think about 3 news articles that I heard about, commentaries done on the Matt Walsh show on Daily Wire. One was that Sweeney model girl with the American Eagle Jean campaign, and how so many people saw it as like white supremacy and eugenics. And then another one was this, I think it was maybe it was in Florida, Alabama, I don't know. Anyways, it was in a public school. It was a child's birthday. It was the teacher's behavior to sing happy birthday to the children, like everyone, like we all did in school, right? Someone's birthday, the whole class would sing happy birthday, and there was always like some special other little song. Like in English school it was, and like with your grandparents stuff, you looked like a monkey and you act like 1, 2, or you looked like a monkey and you smell like 1, 2, or whatever. And in French it was, my dear, whatever the name was, it is your turn to It is your turn to let you speak of love. That's how it translates. So anyway, apparently the teacher recorded all of this to send to the student's mother. And so the teacher and the class sang the song, and then she says, do you want the special version? And the kid says yes, and then she sings the monkey version, which we all had sung to us countless times as children ourselves. Okay? For my generation and earlier, and probably a few years after me. Okay? It's not a mean thing. It's not being mean. It's not being racial. It's not racist. It's not. So the child was put out, and the child's feelings were hurt, and the child came home and whined to their mother. And then the mother, as opposed to being a good mother and showing the lesson that could be learned here in strength and empowerment and in confidence and security, feeds into the child's tantrum and proceeds to accost the school and cause a big muck and try and get the teacher fired. And again, I thought about when I was a kid and the fact that and yes, okay, many of you will say, oh, but you're white and you haven't been okay, so say I was fat. My dad used to call pig calls to me. Okay? And I wasn't even fat, but I thought I was fat until I realized I wasn't, right? And my mother told me I wasn't. So, say someone had said to me in school, had sang the song Fatty Fatty 2x4, couldn't fit through the bathroom door. And I came home crying to my mom, someone said you made me hurt my feelings. My mother would not have called up the school and called up the principal and made a big stink and try and get the teacher fired. She'd look at me and she'd laugh and she'd say, are you for real? You know better than that. You're not those things. What do you care that person says that about you? You're going to let them take that power from you? You're going to let them because of their jealousy or something, right, is what she'd say. She wouldn't sit there and play into my tantrum, okay? So she would use it as a life lesson, and this other mother didn't. And then he brought up another article today. Some woman wrote this article about claiming that the male's gaze upon the female is once again the problem in our society. That she thought that we had surpassed that in the 90s and shit, but apparently not. Here we are now yet again. And going on about how it objectifies woman. And now, okay, so again, if you go back to the etymology of objectify, it doesn't mean anything that its place of origin is not anything that we use it as today, right? And personally, yeah, I'm a woman. I've been objectified. Actually, as a woman, that's one of your wiles that you're supposed to take advantage of and manipulate to your advantage because you know it's their kryptonite. But no. The majority of you bloody women wear it like it's some fucking crutch or something, and that, okay, correction. There are situations, extreme situations, where yes, it is a negative, bad, can be a dangerous situation. But on a day-to-day situation, at home, with your husband, on the street, whatever, in the store, shopping, at the grocery, it's not just men that objectify women. Everyone objectifies everyone and everything. And you cannot control that. And for you to take it as it's some kind of trespass against you and that creates a context for victimhood is just ridiculous. Reclaim your path to sovereignty, right? Don't give your power and authority away over some cat call or some sexual remark or remark that has some kind of sexual connotation towards your body or something. Own it. Own it. Personally, it's a tool to be used. But again, People are so quick to be mean and to be negative and to be hateful and to point the finger and say it's someone else's fault, someone else's problem. And that's just ridiculous. And that just boils down to, like Mommy says, why? Why is it like that? Because yeah, it's easier to be mean and it's easier to be angry and it's easier to be hateful because that doesn't take as much effort, and the majority of the population is lazy. And I know growing up, I didn't want to be like that. And I took those words and I made sure I didn't behave like that, and I still don't. And this is part of what shaped me as a young woman and entrepreneur and human being in this world. And this is what makes As Sarah Turns. So join the turning, become a keeper, subscribe below. As Sarah Turns, you know how it goes. To be continued. No ands, ifs, or buts. Choose you, choose us, choose me. Share it with a friend. And why? Because we got dreams to remember. That's it.